through the errors, I had to fulfill my purpose. To shake the whole earth with a boom when I hit the surface. They trembling nervous, they know I'm coming for certain. To murder all these niggas, devour all of these serpents. I patiently waited to turn up with fervent heat. Now that I'm activated, I'ma blow cause it's World War III. I hear you weeping, you're mourning, your nationality. Hiroshima and Nagasaki ain't got nothing on me. I was raised by chemists, I was made for the judgment. Don't be testing my limits, don't be pushing my buttons. In the Bible they call me flame and rebuke, and you know that that's the truth. But my homies call me nuke, I was sent here to destroy the pleasures of sin. In the day of darkness, even darker than when the day began. Annihilation, no time for evacuations. When these warheads split, it look worse than decapitations. Repented dies, it's genocide or it's genocide.
I be damn if I'm gonna leave this shit if I help gather. I'ma hold the line.
We out here to teach our people who they are according to the Bible, right? We teach that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the Bible. That we God's chosen people, right? You ever heard that before?
Yes, sir.
All right, you believe that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so you believe you're Israelite?
You see, the thing is, you say Israelite, as for a name per se, I haven't got that far yet in my learning.
Okay.
But I'm just, like I said, I'm a brother striving for knowledge.
Okay, well, I'm about to prove to you that you're an Israelite. How about that?
Ain't no wrong with him.
Okay. All praises. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. We're going to start from the beginning.
I was told to do this before you go far. I was told to always research. I learned this lesson the hard way.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, what we're going to do is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the scriptures, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the scriptures. You kind of remember and whatnot. And there's some of them in that flyer right there. You can research it. But I need to be interactive though, right? You got me? So if I ask the question, I want you to answer so we can go somewhere. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So the scripture said that these are the words.
You put them in there.
So the scripture says, what's your name, bro?
My name is, I am Chris.
Chris? All right, all praises. I'm your den. So it says, read that again. You got to listen now. Read that.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So the book of Deuteronomy was written to who?
Israel.
To Israel. Okay, all praises. Give me on Deuteronomy chapter 28.
I'll listen to him now. You asked me a question.
Yeah. Okay. Based on what's going on.
Right, okay.
So Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass.
It says, Moses talking to the children of Israel right now. He says that this is going to happen. Read.
If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
I mean, if you shall listen to God, read.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
To do the commandments of God, read.
Which I command thee this day.
Go ahead.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So God told Moses, tell the Israelites, if they do my commandments, I'm going to set them high above all the nations on the earth, right? You listening? All right, so I'm going to ask you a question. Is the so-called black man above all the nations on the earth right now? No. Give me verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass.
But this also shall happen. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
It says if the Israelites don't listen to God, read.
To observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Go ahead.
That all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
I'm asking you a question. Do you think the black man today is a blessed people or they cursed people? We blessed, right? Why? I know all that, right? But are we blessed today? If you had to look at our people as a whole, would you say we're a blessed people or we're a cursed people?
We're blessed because we continue to produce.
Okay, so are we above everybody on the earth?
No, we're above no one.
Are we on the top or are we on the bottom right now?
When you say top and bottom, are you talking about what you
do we write laws in this place?
Okay.
Do we control the movement? Do we control the revenue, the economy? Do we control the economy in our community?
We are the oppressed.
We are the oppressed, right? So is that a blessing or a curse? Being the oppressed. A blessing is a blessing is a good thing, right? A curse is a bad thing, right?
Depending upon how you accept, how you see it. Because like if you mind me saying something.
Go ahead, I'm gonna work with you.
Something might be destroyed, but to your way of thinking, it's a bad thing. But then it's good come from it. And it's another reason unbeknown to you.
Oh yeah,
so who
no.
knows what's good and what's bad?
I'm not saying that it's not good gonna come from our cursing. I'm asking what the condition we in right now.
Okay, right, all right.
So the condition, you going too deep. We gonna keep it real surface, right? No, it ain't your bad. It's good. That's a good thing. I like people like you that ask questions that's thinking, right? So it says, read that again, verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
I mean, if we don't listen to God, read.
To observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes.
And if the Israelites didn't keep his commandments and statutes, what's going to happen?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So you just let me know that according to the conditions that we're in right now, that we're a cursed people and not a blessed people, right? Now go to verse 46.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46.
Go ahead.
And they shall be upon thee.
Then it says they, what it's talking about? It's talking about the curses. It says that these curses will be upon us for what?
For a sign.
The curses on us going to be for a sign, read.
And for a wonder.
And for a wonder. I'm asking you a question right now, right? If you needed to go to the pharmacy right now, where would you go? Why? How you know it's a pharmacy in there? Because you see that sign right there that say pharmacy, right? If you need to go to a pawn shop right now, where would you go?
To the nearest one.
Turn around.
First say name. Can't smell.
You go to the pawn shop. If you wanted some Church's chicken right now, where would you go? How would you know that's a Church's chicken? Because it's a sign right there that say Church's chicken. You know that's a pawn shop right there because it's a sign that says a pawn shop.
That's right.
You know it's a pharmacy right now because it's a sign that say pharmacy, right? So God said that the curses was going to be on the children of Israel, the Israelites, for a sign, right? So we was going to be able to go through these curses and find out who the Israelites are because of that, right? Go to verse 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
Curse shall thy be in thy city.
So in the cities, right, that we live in, are we on the top? Do we live in the big houses? Are we in the government? Do we control the economy in our cities? Or are we ruled over? We ruled over. Is that a blessing or a curse? Is it a blessing or a curse?
For a whole nation of people, yeah, you say it's like a curse.
It's a curse. Okay, all praises. So that's one sign. Curse shall our people be in the city. Read.
And curse shall thy be in thy field.
Let me ask you a question. You see the sign right here that show all these Israelites in the field down there picking cotton? Who that happened to? That happened to us, right?
Our ancestors.
So were our ancestors cursed or blessed in the field? Picking cotton from sun up to sundown for free with a whip at your back. Is that a blessing or a curse?
See, that's the thing. You keep saying it. What I'll do is I just can't agree with curse and blessing because I look at it different. But I would say they were oppressed people. They went through a lot.
Is oppression a blessing?
No,
it's not. So it's a curse, right? It's not good. All right, don't run from it, brother.
I'm not running from it.
You said you wanted somebody to work with you, to bring you to the light. So if I had a kid up here, if I had a little 10-year-old boy right here and I asked him, was being a slave a curse or a blessing? He'll say it's a curse. It wouldn't be no, well, you know, maybe however you look at it.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
The reason I say that is because each word is definitive. Each word has a specific definition. It has a specific meaning. When you use the word curse.
Somebody pull up curse in their phone.
No,
show me the definition of the word curse real quick.
For people who have been, what's the word? I can't clarify. Let me clarify.
Yeah, let's look up the word curse. Who got it?
When you use the word bless, I'm not trying to I want you to teach.
Oh yeah, I'm going to teach you. I'm working with you, bro.
But the thing is,
let me see. Let's read this
I look at words different. Because you might use curse and I might use bad. Feel me? Curse is also a blessing.
You said a curse is also a blessing.
Yeah, because you find strength through it. You feel me? It's just like what we've been going through. People might look at it as a curse, but we have continued to grow and live through all we have been through.
We continue to grow.
And we're going to continue to grow.
But guess what? You know, a long time ago, we used to have communities with our own hospitals.
That's right.
We used to have our own schools.
That's right.
We had our airports.
That's right.
We had our kids. They learned from people that love them and not from their enemies.
Right.
Do we have that now?
No, sir.
So we really not
No,
growing
sir.
from these curses. Really, we getting worse and worse and worse from these curses.
That's right.
We just have shiny things. We got shiny things. We got shiny cars.
Sure.
We got shiny houses. But we still in a worse situation than we were before coming out of slavery. What's the definition? Let's read that. It says curse, a severe affliction. Is the cotton field a severe affliction?
Yes, it is.
So it's a curse, right? All right, all praises. Remember that, a curse is a severe affliction. So it says, curse shall we be, so the Israelites be in the city, and curse shall the Israelites be in the field. We had to pick cotton for our slave master. That's in the field. We had to pick tobacco. We had to pick sugar. Even today, in the work field today, are we blessed in the work field, or are we cursed in the work field? Which one?
Oh,
We both? Are we CEOs? What CEOs of Fortune 500 companies are we?
you talking about the company?
Talking about the work field.
Yeah, my bad. What you at?
Are we blessed or are we cursed?
Cursed, right.
I'm talking about as a nation. Because we got individuals that make good money. We got brothers out here right now that make good money for jobs. But as a nation, that's what we're talking about. As a nation of people, are we cursed in the work field? We cursed in the work field, right? Now we showing signs, right? You can put that down. Go to verse 32.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32.
So far we got 3 signs that say our people are cursed, right? That's coming out the Bible. Keep reading.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Who that happened to at any time? That certain people's sons and daughters was given to another group of people.
Right.
Who that happened to?
Us.
That happened to us. Slavery, right?
Right.
Was that a blessing or a curse?
Severe affliction.
A severe affliction.
I go with that. I
So
like
it's a
that.
curse, right? So that's another curse. Our sons and daughters being given to another people. Even right now, right? Who fill the jail cells right now?
Black.
Blacks. Is that a blessing or a curse?
So a blessing, yes, it's a curse.
It's a curse, right? So that's 5 curses so far. 5 signs on who the Israelites are. Go to verse 37.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
It said an astonishment. God said the Israelites, for not keeping the commandments, was going to become an astonishment. You know what an astonishment is? It's a great wonder, right? People look at us and say, why don't the black man marry the black woman and take care of his black kids?
Right.
That's an astonishment.
That's
That's
right.
a great wonder. While our young men walk around with their pants hanging down, they down past their butt, that's an astonishment. When the black woman take away the beauty that the Most High God gave her natural hair, and she straighten it and burn it out and put chemicals in it and make it blonde like the other nations, people look at that and go, what's wrong with them? Why they don't like the way God made them? That's an astonishment. When you see the young brothers out here that get a $3,000 car and put $20,000 rims on it, $4,000 music in it, and an $8,000 paint job, and they don't take care of their kids, that's an astonishment.
Question.
Go ahead.
What are you doing?
Say it again.
What are you doing per se, exactly? What's your mission?
I'm showing you your nationality.
I know my nationality. What I'm saying is, for the rest of the nation, what are you doing per se for the individual that you see, even ones that walk by? What do you offer them?
What do we offer them?
Yes, sir.
What you mean, like money,
Nah.
food?
See,
You know what I'm
thing is,
saying?
I know this right
We
here.
feeding the mind right now. Who
That's
out here
all.
used to be
That's it.
gangbangers?
That's right.
Who used to be gangbangers?
That's right.
All right,
Amen.
so we got people that used to be gangbangers.
That's right.
They ain't gangbangers no more.
What I'm saying.
Who used to be whoremongers out here? So we got brothers out here that used to be whoremongers. They ain't whoremongers no more. What? Who got married since they came into the truth? They found out about this truth and got married. So we got brothers that used to be laying around with sisters, not marrying them, just whoring them out. They came into this truth. They said, I need to be a husband to my wife and a father to my son.
That's right.
That's what we doing for our people.
That's
right.
right.
And I can keep going on and on and on and on. That's what
right.
we doing right now.
Right.
But the first step is for you to find out who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, when you read the Bible, it don't mean nothing.
Right.
It's words on a piece of paper. In the Bible, it says, to the children of Israel, the children of Israel, the children of Israel, God's chosen people, God's elect. the saints of God. If you don't know who that is, how does the Bible relate to you? You see what I'm saying? Because when we asked you what your nationality was, it was kind of, I'm a Nubian black man.
I'm just, like I said, I'm a source of the planet. I'm a source of the
Yeah, we are sources of the other planet.
Okay, when I say, I try not to apply with color in effect to other people because I know what I am. I'm a dark seed of the planet.
You're a dark seed of the planet.
Yes, sir. However you want to clarify, if you want to break it down in literal terms, I'm black. We'll just cut it like that.
But you're not black.
Come back down the color. Understood. That's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to come to you, but you keep trying to come to me. I'm trying to tell you.
No.
In other words,
I'm giving you the information. We just went through the curses.
Israelite.
We went through the curses that God said was going to be on the Israelites, and you admitted that that's the same thing that we go through.
All day, every day.
Okay, so maybe that's who we are.
That's right.
That's right. Watch this. Keep reading. Verse 37, what he says?
37.
Yeah.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So for not keeping the commandments of God, we became an astonishment. Read.
A proverb.
A proverb. You know what a proverb is? It's like a wise saying, right? Like if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in a book. Whoa. How you knew that? Because that's what they say about us. Let me ask you a question. What's a saying about a Chinese man that's going to stop him from getting a job? They don't have one. What about for a white man? What's a saying for a white man that's going to stop him from getting a job or make you not trust him? They don't have none. But they got sayings about us all day long. They steal, they late.
Color people time.
CP time. Right? We become an astonishment and a proverb. Keep reading.
And a byword.
And a byword. You know what a byword is? Yes. That's saying two names, right? We used to have a name that God, that the Creator gave us, right? Yes, but guess what? What's your last name? Busby. Where do you think that name come from? It comes from your slave master.
Yeah, slave master.
It comes from the man that owns your family.
That's right.
It's from the man that used to probably rape your foremothers, used to beat your forefathers. That's where that name comes from.
That's right.
It said we become a byword, another name. African American, right? African comes from the white Roman general Leo Scipios Africanus. He defeated Hannibal in the Second Punic Wars, and the continent was named after him. That's where Africa comes from. America comes from Amerigo Vespucci, right? Italian map maker. So when you call yourself an African American, you saying you come from a white Roman man and a white Italian man, right? That's a curse among our people.
That's right.
Is it a curse that you named after the people who used to rape your foremothers?
Yes, sir.
That's a curse, right? So that's another curse that the Bible said was going to happen to the Israelites that you say happened to the black Nubian man, right? Where we at? That's it?
On 37?
Yeah.
And a byword.
Read.
Among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
You know, we call different names everywhere. In Japan, they call us nignags, right? Africans call us akatas. White man call us nigger, coon, spirit chucker, all these different names, right? We call different names all over this planet, except for the name that the Creator, the Most High God, gave us.
That's right.
And you want to know why? Because the Bible say because we didn't keep the commandments of God, right? Give me verse 48.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Go ahead.
Therefore shall thy serve thine enemies.
So the Bible says for not keeping the commandments, the Israelites was going to have to, what they was going to have to do? Serve their enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
The Lord send these enemies against us. We don't blame the white man for being the devil. It is what it is. That's what he is. We don't blame the Chinese man for coming into our communities and exploiting us. That's what he was supposed to do. We don't put the blame on nobody else. We put the blame on us. Because the Bible says, because if we don't keep the commandments of God, curses was going to come on us, right? Read that again.
Therefore shall thy serve thine enemies.
So guess what? We serve our enemies, right? Even today, we served our enemies in the 1400s. We served our enemies in the 1600s when they bought us over here on slave ships, right? And today we still serve our enemies, correct? Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
How we serve them?
In hunger.
In hunger. When you want something to eat, where you go?
Fast food.
Who own that?
Them.
Who is them? Who is them? We the Israelites, sister. Hey, she did a fly. So who we serve? Okay, all praise to the Most High.
Where y'all located?
We got a school in 1661 Lamar. We got schools all over the United States. We got schools in Africa, Jamaica, Haiti, everywhere. So look, I'm listening, love. Listen.
I don't know the country.
Nah, bro, you can't go nowhere. Keep reading. Keep reading.
Therefore shall thy serve thine enemies,
So the scripture says we're going to have to serve our enemies. Read.
which the Lord shall send against thee,
Read.
in hunger.
So when you want something to eat, where you go?
Fast food.
Who own the fast food? Say the names.
White people.
The white people own the fast food. Who else? Who own the Chinese stores?
Chinese.
Who own the corner stores in our communities? The what
Arabs.
man? The Arabs, right? What God called them?
Therefore shall thy serve thine enemies.
So who is the white man to you?
That's my enemy.
Who is the Arab man to you?
Everybody's my enemy.
The Chinese man to you.
Enemy.
That's what the Bible say. That ain't what we saying. That's what God's saying. Read.
In hunger
In hunger you serve your enemy. Read.
and in thirst.
If you want something to drink, where you go? You know they just raised $1 billion in 2 days to fix that church in America. We offering stuff, and it's a major city in the United States that still got dirty water.
That's right.
They raised $1 billion in 2 days, and Flint, Michigan still got dirty water.
Bring it out.
Would a friend do that, or would an enemy do that? That's why the Bible said we're going to serve our enemies for food and in water. When you want something to drink, you got to go to your enemies to get that water. You got to go to your enemies to keep that water on MLG and W, because they control that, right? And what?
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. The clothes that we got on. Guess who make these clothes?
That's right.
Our enemies. Even if it say Sean John on the tag, or Jordan, or even if you say I'm going to make my own clothes, you still got to go to your enemies to get the raw textiles, because I don't see our people having a cotton plant anywhere where they turn the cotton into thread and a yarn and they knit and put it together, right? So when you want to put clothes on to cover your naked behind, you got to go to your who?
Neighborhood store.
No, what God called them?
White man.
No, he called them our what? Our
Devil.
enemies.
Enemy.
Our enemies.
Enemy.
That's more curses. What's your name again, brother?
Chris.
Brother Chris. All the stuff I'm reading that the Bible say is curses that's put on the Israelites, right? Pay attention now. Everything I'm reading that the Bible say these curses were put on the Israelites, you telling me that that's the curses that the so-called black man going through.
Exactly. Right today.
So maybe the Bible is talking to the so-called black man.
That's right.
Maybe the Bible was written for the black man.
Bring it out.
Maybe the Bible is a black man's book.
That's right.
Keep reading.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness, read.
And in the want of all things.
So what we talking about, brother? We talking about the curses of God that said was going to come on the Israelites. So it says, in the want of what?
All things.
So in the want of all things, you got to serve your enemy. So guess what, Chris, right? If you want to get married, what you got to do to get married? Who you got to go to? You got to go to your enemy. You got to go down to town hall and get a certificate and ask permission to get married. Guess what? I'm going to tell you something. I own a house in Jackson, Tennessee, right? And I'm trying to get something built on the house to stop it from getting rotten floors, right? I have to go and sit in a meeting so them to give me permission to put that on my house and build it the way they want me to build it, but it's my house.
That's right.
It's paid for, it's mine,
That's
right? But I gotta go to the white man and ask permission to do that
And your own house.
on my own house. You know, in a lot of these buildings, matter of fact, when we renovated our church, right? Our school over here, right? We put in a new toilet. The inspectors came in and said, y'all put a new toilet in here? Oh, no, you ain't get permission to do that. You got to go pull a permit to put a new toilet in this building.
What?
Yes, in the want of all things, you got to serve your enemy. So guess what? When you're born, what you got to get?
Birth
A
certificate.
birth certificate,
Social security. number.
social security number. When you die, what you got to get? Is the insurance going to pay you because your auntie died just off your word alone?
Nah.
What you got to have?
Contract.
You got to have a death certificate, right? So in the want of all things, you got to serve your enemies. Guess what? When we send our young kids to school to get an education, who set up the curriculum?
They do. Enemy.
They do. The other nations do.
Right.
So when they teach them stuff like Christopher Columbus discovered America, because they teach it at school, right? Christopher Columbus discovered America, right? How can you discover something if somebody already there?
Bring it out.
And guess what? Christopher Columbus never came to America.
That's right.
He never touched American soil. He didn't discover America. It was people already here.
That's right.
It's like me coming up to you and taking that hat and saying, look, I discovered this hat right here. It's a lie.
That's
So
right.
even the education that we get that's lies, it's brought to us by our enemies. So you know why our enemies get to do these things to us? Because we don't keep the commandments of God. Right? Keep reading.
And in the want of all things.
So in the one of all things, we have to serve our enemies, Chris. Read.
And he.
And he. When it says he, is talking about that enemy, Chris. It says that enemy was going to do what?
Shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
It says the enemy was going to do what?
Put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Look at this picture right here, Chris. What's that right there? That's a yoke of iron upon her neck right there. Who that happened to?
Us.
Happened to us.
Ancestors.
So that this Bible was written way before slavery happened. You know that, right? Mr. Chris? This Bible was written way before 1619. It was already written. This was already in there. This was already written. God already said this is going to happen to y'all if y'all don't keep the commandments. It says that he was going to do what?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
A yoke of iron upon thy necks. A yoke of iron upon thy necks. A yoke of iron upon thy necks. That's in the Bible. Slavery is in the Bible.
That's right.
The Most High God said slavery was going to happen to you if you don't keep the commandments. It was going to happen to the Israelites if they don't keep the commandments of God. And guess what? That happened to us. Did we not have yokes of iron upon our necks? If you Google yokes of iron, you're going to see a picture of a black man with a chain around his neck. So that's another curse. How many, what, 10?
Yeah.
We have like 10 curses right now that the Bible say going to happen to the Israelites that you, Mr. Chris, say happened to the black man. Right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Give me verse 44.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 44.
Go ahead.
He shall lend to thee.
Guess what? Who leaned to us? Go to verse 43. Sorry, verse 43.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 43.
Go ahead.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
So let's talk about the other nations, right? At one point, we did rule the earth. At one point, we did run this place, right? They call it the dark ages. That's what they call it. They don't teach you about that in school. You learn about the dark ages in school? Nah, they ain't gonna teach you about that because that's when black people ruled the earth. It's still signs of that. If you go to certain places in Europe and Paris and the Netherlands, you see big castles with pictures of black men on these castles, right? The Pope and all that, they got pictures of black people on their walls that they bow down and they worship and they pray to. But you don't know nothing about that. Our people don't know nothing about that because they don't want you to know nothing about that.
That's right.
They don't want you to think you was nothing but a slave and they helped you out from being a slave. That's what they say. Y'all ain't never heard a white person say, well, ain't it better now? Ain't it better than being in the jungle, butt naked, walking around with the orangutans and the baboons? They actually think that. They think they did us a favor by putting us through slavery.
That's right.
That's a crazy wild man right there. That's the enemy right there. But keep reading.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
So guess what? They was low at one time. But guess what? During this thing called the Renaissance period, that's when they rebirthed. That's when they came up through Alexander the Greek or Alexander the Freak, whatever you want to call him. He had sex with men and his sister. He died of STD. I like to call him the freak because that's what he was. They was all freaks back there. All that gay, homosexual stuff come from the white man.
That's right.
It is what it is.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have repented. We have repented. How about you? How about you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd?
For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.